We all enjoy the changing of the seasons. Fall is a special time to be thankful for our families and many blessings. It is also a great time, though, to review your insurance coverages. Alpha Insurance and hometown agent Jeff Nee can help you personalize your insurance needs. The more you protect, the more you save. With helpful customer service teams right here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi, you can count on Alpha to provide the insurance plan that provides the protection that you need. For all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call Alpha agent Jeff Nee or drop by his office at 202 McFarland Boulevard East, Suite 101 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And remember, with Jeff Nee, the more you protect, the more you save. And with that, Heath, welcome in to the Stingray Show on this Monday morning. And let me also say to you, welcome back to the Stingray Show. You had a hectic week last week. How are you doing?
Oh, you got me choked up already. Wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
8 pounds lighter. I hate you, stomach virus.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for getting me choked up. I wasn't expecting that. But, yeah, Stephen, I got to say something right off the bat.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Sure.
I know we're going to talk all fun stuff, and we're going to get into football, and then we'll wrap with football as we always do. But I'm going to put football real quick before fun stuff.
Okay.
Did you happen to see the press conference after the game between Ole Miss and Florida, and what Lane Kiffin said?
No.
Some reporter put him on the spot, asked him about the Florida job, and he said, I'm going to respect the game and be respectful, and you should too. I'm like, wait a second, time out. The biggest Twitter troll that there has ever been in college football, ever, is talking about respecting the game. And we got to respect the game. You've never respected it.
Yeah.
You've always trolled on everybody. You've trolled on everything. I mean, that would be the equivalent. Seriously, this would be the equivalent of Nick Saban saying, you should stay calm and keep your cool and control your emotions at all times on the sidelines during a game. Mm-hmm. That would be the equivalent. I just thought it was I just thought it was funny, and I still think it's funny. But I will say this, and we'll talk about it later, and I get a million texts and questions a day about Lane Kiffin. It's simple. Lane Kiffin can shut it all down this very second. He could have shut it down 10 days ago. Yeah. He can shut it down anytime he wants to and sign that extension. Why hasn't he? Yeah. Ole Miss is saying, hey, look, max we can pay is X amount, whatever it might be. This X amount we can give you, X amount NIL. Like, we're giving you absolutely – we're not holding anything back. He could shut it down any second, and he hasn't.
Pretty much, yep. All right. We will discuss that later on. Now, let's get to some fun talk on this Monday morning. Are you ready?
I'm absolutely ready. It's Kick Butt Monday, man. What you got?
Today is November the 17th. So today is National Butter Day.
Did you say butt hurt or butter?
Butter.
Oh, Stephen, can you eat a roll or a piece of cornbread without butter on it?
No.
Okay.
I can. But I'm not a cornbread guy though.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. It is also National Homemade Bread Day. For anybody that does their own baking of bread at home, it is National Homemade Bread Day.
You know what, Stephen? It is bad luck at an Italian family's house or restaurant to cut bread with a knife. You must break it with your hand. Don't cut it with a knife. Break it with your hand. Hey, my great-grandmother and grandfather being my grandmother 100% Italian, and my grandfather being 100% Native American, Choctaw. Yeah, there you go. You got to do it by hand. Don't do it by the knife.
All right. And finally, for some odd reason, this has taken a negative turn with this saying, but today is National Take a Hike Day.
Ha!
You know, when you're mad at somebody, you can go tell them to take a hike.
That's
But
right.
honestly, today is National Take a Hike Day.
Stephen, when's the last time you told someone to take a hike?
I have no idea. That's so old, man.
When's the last time you went on a hike?
Yesterday, as a matter of fact. Sure did.
I got you. Hey, I'm going to be at Key West by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to my hikes.
All right, Heath, briefly, before we get to the national birthday of today, on November the 17th of 1858, can you tell me what major city in the West was founded? It is not on the West Coast, but it is in the West.
Would it happen to be in the state of Arizona?
No,
Oh,
no.
let's see. Man, I mean, that's majority of the country on the west side of the Mississippi. But it's not the West Coast.
I will tell you, they are the top of their division now in the NFL with their win over the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday.
Well, that's going to put that's the AFC, and that's going to make it either Las Vegas. It could be Denver. It could be is it Denver? The Broncos are in first place.
Denver,
Look at you,
Colorado.
Nick.
Denver, Colorado was founded November the 17th on this day back in 1858. So there, of course, is your little bit of history right there for today. Now, when we get briefly, before we start the show, to our Fave 5. Heath, today is the birthday of a well-known actor who has starred in multiple movies and TV shows, including It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Heath, he is currently on the commercial for Jersey Mike's. Today is the birthday of Danny DeVito. So I thought to do a Fave 5 in his honor of our Fave 5 movies of Danny DeVito all time.
Well, there you go. I'm going to let you go first. My list is not complete. Look, I like Danny DeVito. I don't love Danny DeVito.
Right.
I like him, though.
Yes.
And even as a small kid, I remember him on Taxi. My mom used to watch Taxi.
Uh-huh.
And so I remember as a young kid when that show was still on the air, I've seen him on Taxi. I thought he was always funny because he was the little short guy up in the booth. So with that, give us your Fave 5, Danny DeVito. Are we doing movies and shows or just movies?
Movies.
There you go. All right, give me your Fave 5.
At number 5, I'm going with the narrator because he is the narrator of this movie who is the lawyer. Number 5, The War of the Roses.
That's a good movie. I like that one.
At number 4, I am going with the sequel to my number 3. At number 4, Jewel of the Nile.
That's a good movie.
At number 3, I am going with Romancing the Stone.
That's my number 1.
At number 2, I am going with an old Disney movie that was really popular when I was growing up, Matilda.
Okay.
And at number 1, I am about to play for you guys a small clip of one of my favorite Danny DeVito lines and scenes in a movie, and then I will tell you which movie this is from at my number 1, okay? And see if you can figure it out.
Got it.
Oh, buddy. Hey, you ready to sell some cars?
Me? I'm a born car salesman, but I was thinking today that maybe I would just kind of ease into it, get a feeling for the place.
Yeah, well, you see that tire kicker right there? He's all yours.
I don't know.
I got $1,000 says you can't sell him.
Oh, let me in on that action.
Yeah, let's just make it 3.
3.
3 G's.
All right, you guys are asking for it.
There's one more in every minute.
Ted, this is genius.
You can't let these new guys get into a rhythm. I'm telling you, boys, from this day forward, we own that guy.
There we go. The brush off.
That's
the brush off. Okay, here we go. We gotcha.
Are you okay?
You walk face first into that buzzsaw.
Money on my desk by the end of the day. No checks.
That's not possible.
Mr. Murray owns the dealership.
I just bought one of my own cars. And the worst part is, I paid sticker.
Heath,
I have
any
no idea what movie that is, but I do want to watch it now.
at number 1, it is a holiday favorite of mine. He is starring in it with Matthew Broderick. I am going with Deck the Halls.
There you go. Very nice list, Stephen. Very nice.
Dude, I had to throw that in there. That is one of my all-time favorite movie scenes.
I will go number 5, Batman Returns. I think that's the worst Batman movie ever made until the most recent one. That most recent Batman movie I thought was just a joke. I still don't like it.
Right.
But number 4, I'll go Big Fish. Love that movie. Number 3, Throw Mama from the Train.
Yep.
Let's see. Number 2, Man on the Moon. Love that movie. Jim Carrey's in that, but what a great movie Man on the Moon was. And number 1 is Romancing the Stone. That is one of the great 80s, rom-com movies. Just a wonderful, wonderful movie. Listen, if you've never seen it, the holidays are coming up. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got the Christmas holidays coming up. And if you get a slow night, which we never do at our household, but if you get a slow night and you've never seen that movie, tell your wife or your significant other, your wife, she can tell your husband, I want to sit down and watch Romancing the Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank me later. It is a very funny rom-com movie. You'll highly, highly enjoy it. Imagine a Romancing the Stone is more like a fun Indiana Jones love story with a lot of quirks, and it's just a good movie. A lot of adventure, a lot of fun, a lot of funny moments. The characters are outstanding, phenomenal writing. You will laugh and you will smile. At the end of the movie, you're kind of sad that it's over because you're like, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a sequel, and it's on your list, Stephen. Jewel of the Nile.
All right, Heath, we have gone 13 minutes of fun talk. Now, let's talk a little college football. We are going to start the Stingray Show as the pre-show is over. We are starting the Stingray Show right after this. The Thanksgiving holiday is fastly approaching, and if you have a large family coming to your house, let the Coker Market take the hassle out of the Thanksgiving dinner for you. You can order from the Coker Market smoked turkey breast, smoked half a ham, a Boston butt, wings by the dozen, tenders by the dozen, or sausage balls. Now with casseroles, which you just take and bake, sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, and green bean casserole. They also offer baked beans, potato salad, and yeast rolls. You can find them at County Road 140 in Coker, Alabama at the intersection of Romulus Road at the four-way intersection, or you can call to get your order done at 205-331-5066. Once again, that is 331-5066. Let the Coker Market take the hassle out of the Thanksgiving dinner for you this holiday season. Boomer Sooner, as they say out in Norman, Oklahoma. What a turnaround from last year to this year as Oklahoma came into Tuscaloosa and knocked off the Crimson Tide this past weekend. And Georgia still owns the Texas Longhorns after beating them for the third straight time Saturday night. Heath and I are going to do a full recap of Week 12 here in the SEC right now on this edition of the Stingray Show.
Hi, this is Tim Brando with a reminder. Look out, you're about to feel the buzz of Stingray.
This is Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, coming to you live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm Heath Hopkins. I'm here in DeSoto County, Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you feel that responsibility to pay it forward and give some kid a chance coming up in the ranks, kind of like Tony did for you?
Why do you think I'm talking to Stingray tonight?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look.
Hey, Stingray, here's the deal. When you get involved with Texas, it's like getting married to a stripper. and let me explain this. It looks good. It's kind of sexy on the surface. Yeah. But then you get the baggage, you get the drama, you get all that eventually comes with it. And that's what you get with Texas, and that's what the Big 12 learned.
And Heath, any thoughts on our show moving forward?
Hey, with the Stingray Show, if you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best show going today, baby. Woo!
And with that, we want to welcome you inside the real show of the Stingray Show when we are going to be discussing college football in its entirety and the SEC from this past weekend. And Heath, let's start with the shocker of the weekend, Alabama's 17-game home winning streak and Alabama's 22 straight homecoming wins were snapped by the Oklahoma Sooners. The last time Alabama lost a homecoming game coming into Saturday was 2001. And how about those Oklahoma Sooners?
If you gave me enough time, I could probably tell you who they lost to in 2001. If I had
LSU.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, Stephen. I thought Oklahoma could make it close for 2.5, 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 quarters. But I thought Bama would pull away. And truthfully, I didn't think it would be close.
Yeah.
Majority of us didn't. But once again, to the exception of 1 week, which was last weekend.
Yeah.
To the exception of 1 week this entire college football season, there has been a top team to fall every single week in college football this year, except for last weekend. Every single weekend, we have had a top 10 team fail. It's happened again. So, am I shocked? A little, but am I really shocked? No.
Yeah.
No, this is crazy, man. This has been a fun SEC season. And, Stephen, that wasn't even the craziest game of the day, and we'll talk about this later. A&M and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, my dear Lord. Oh, my dear Lord. And I hate to say it. Did you see Shane Beamer right before halftime? Did you see that picture? Going to the locker room. Hands are raised and crowds cheering as he's walking into the locker room, and then doesn't score a point second half. But we'll talk about that one later. But, man, what a phenomenal game. What a shocker. And haven't seen the game all the way through yet. I've seen the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to watching this game. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow night. Watching this game from beginning to end. But Stephen, wow! And let's say it. Let's say it. We don't want to say it, but we are going to say it. Oklahoma's for real. We thought they were a pretender, especially when they lost to Texas, and we all kind of wrote them off. Like whatever. And let's face it, we put every SEC fan put the precursor on them like, yeah, you remember when you guys used to make the playoff and y'all were that last team in the playoff and y'all were the first team out that got blown out every single year in the playoff, and everyone still thinks it's that Oklahoma. Yeah, you have good seasons till you play somebody, and it's like you play Texas, they're nobody,
Yeah.
and they beat you bad, and blah blah blah. Well, now Texas is looking good, and Oklahoma's looking better. I would love to see a healthy John Mateer and a growing and getting better by the week Arch Manning face off again. We might get that in the playoffs, Stephen. Might.
Heath, do you remember what we talked about to begin the football season on our Oklahoma preview show?
I'm recalling some things, but not everything. What was the main thing you're referring to?
How many games does Brent Venables have to win? Have to win for him to keep his job. Everybody said 8 wins or better. Guys, they are 2 wins away from going to the playoffs. What an amazing turnaround that Brent Venables has done in Norman with his back against the wall when everybody pegged him on that list of a potential firing because coming into the season you had Sam Pittman, you had Hugh Freeze, you had Billy Napier, and you had Brent Venables because of his track record at Oklahoma coming into this season. And look at this, 2 wins away from beating and getting into the playoffs. And those 2 games are now winnable because LSU is sliding backwards, and so are the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, and Missouri, we understand. I don't care who you are. You're on your third string quarterback. You're going to start having a lot of problems. I don't care what team you are in the SEC or this country or the NFL. You get to your third string quarterback, you're going to have problems. Missouri got a big win this weekend on that, but looking at Oklahoma's last 2 games, and you just kind of mentioned it. You got Missouri and you got LSU. Both of them are coming off wins. LSU can make it back-to-back wins this week. They step out of non-conference.
Yeah.
But can Oklahoma beat Missouri? Yes. Can Oklahoma beat LSU?
Yes.
Yes. Will they? I don't know because it's been a crazy season this year. I'll say one thing. That front of Missouri, we've been hearing all season that they're the best in the SEC, that defensive front. That might be the best defensive front in the nation. I would probably put them in the top 2 or 3. That defensive front is quite impressive, but it's definitely the best in the SEC so far this season. But, dude, Oklahoma, man, you got to tip your cap. And just think, Stephen, where they would be if John Mateer didn't get hurt. Where would John Mateer be? He might be, a lot of people are saying he was the front runner for the Heisman back in September.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt. So I'm telling you, man, a lot of people are upset with the SEC this year. This has been one of the most fun SEC seasons I've remembered in a very long time because you don't know what's going to happen each weekend, and people are playing at a high level. And Stephen, a lot of people were mad at me at the beginning of the season when I said LSU was winning and they beat Clemson, and we all thought that was a huge win to start the season. But, starting the third week, I just sat there and I was like, this LSU offense doesn't look good. They're not good. And they kept winning, and they went to Oxford undefeated. And I just said, LSU is not a good team. They're not good. I don't know how you can rank them. I think they were 3 or 4 at the time. What were they ranked? 3rd or 4th in the country when they lost to Ole Miss. But I was like, this is not. I was like, I don't even think they're a top 25 team. Got a lot of hate on that.
Yeah.
And guess what? Unfortunately, I don't get to say this too often, to my wife, but I was right.
And Heath, the final thing that I will say about the Oklahoma and Alabama game, we have seen it all season long, the inability for Alabama to run the football. Now it is really showing up on Ty Simpson, and he is ultimately cracking under pressure. His passes have been off, they're inaccurate, and that offensive line is starting to crack and leak a little bit because they gave up a ton of sacks against LSU and also on Saturday against Oklahoma. Oh, and in a couple of weeks, who has a wonderful defensive line, the Auburn Tigers. Look out.
Yeah. You know, looking at Alabama, Stephen, it's excuse me as I clear my throat. It's plain and simple to me. And Alabama fans don't want to hear it, and I don't care. I don't. Last year, DeBoer was figuring out the smells of Tuscaloosa. He's figuring out the smells of his own team. Like, he doesn't even know, what's this guy's name again? What's this coach's name? Like, he's still trying to figure out where everything is and everybody and things like that. And he hasn't caught up to the SEC. This year, it's a lot better than last year. We can all agree to that.
Yes.
But it's to the point where he hasn't mastered the SEC yet. And what I mean by that, you can't run Pac 8, 10, 12, 14 offenses in the SEC the way you run the offenses out there in the Pac. You can't do it like that. You just can't. You can run that offense, but you've got to have SEC level talent. You got to have SEC level speed. And he's getting these offensive linemen that would be, first, second team all conference in the Pac, and like these guys really, and they are really good. They are tremendously good.
Yes.
But they're not great.
Right.
They're not elite. As Coach Saban says, you can be bad, good, or bad, average, good, excellent, or elite. And he's getting good. He's not getting excellent and elite at key positions on the field, on and off the ball.
Right.
And I think you're starting to see that. And I think he's picking up on that. And I think he's figuring it out like, hey, these guys that are real good, they are good. But once the season wears on and they get a little beat up, that's when you need excellent and elite guys. And I think he's figuring that out right now. I know Bama fans don't want to hear that. And I know Bama fans don't want to be patient. But it is what it is. And do I think DeBoer is a great coach? Yes. Do I think Alabama's going to make a mistake one day and run him out of town? Yes, I do. Absolutely. I think it's going to be James Franklin 2.0. I think Bama's got a record of running people out of town when they shouldn't have. Gene Stallings being one of them.
Yes.
They've ran a lot of coaches out of town way too quick and didn't need to. Auburn's doing it all the time now. So, the SEC has a problem with that. Alabama's had a problem with that. So, with that, do I think next year is going to be even better for DeBoer? Yes. Do I think it's going to be better for Alabama? Yes. Do I think Alabama's a good team? Yes. Do I think they make the playoff? Probably. I don't know. They're going to be borderline here at the end. But, hey, Bama, you're good, but excellent or elite. I'm not putting you there. I'm not.
All right. Are you ready for the crazy stat of the day?
Yeah, there's no telling where this is going, but yeah.
Let's move to another game. Georgia and Texas. Everybody and his brother wanted to knock James Franklin for 1-15 against top 5 teams on his record. With the loss to Georgia Saturday night, Heath, do you know what Sark fell to as a coach against top 5 teams at Texas?
I have no idea.
1-7.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm okay with that stat, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Because, he didn't take over a Texas program that was running on all cylinders.
Right.
So, he's going to take the bumps on the front of that. I wonder who the one win is. Who's the one win?
I want to say it was Alabama, Saban's last year in Tuscaloosa.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's right.
You look at these situations and things, and I remember Dan Mullen had some crazy record against top 25 teams, but I was like, Dan Mullen took over a Sylvester Croom-led nightmare.
Yeah.
And it was taking him several years to build that roster and kind of get it going. And so, yeah, he played in the SEC West, the absolute toughest division in college football at the time, maybe of all time, of all levels. And on top of that, everybody in the SEC West was ranked. So it was just one of those things.
Alabama, when they lost to Texas in 23, was ranked third in the country, and they lost to them here in Tuscaloosa.
There you go.
That's the one win for Sark against a top 5 team. The rest of them have been losses.
Stephen, you brought up another excellent point. Bama fans that are mad at DeBoer. Nick Saban was losing at the end of his career at home to Texas.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this was an elite Bama program.
Right.
Look, Nick Saban's the greatest of all time. No one's arguing that and debating that. But let's face it, he did not go out on tip top. He did. He did. When was the last time he won a national title? Was it 2020?
2020. So he was 3 years removed from a title when he retired.
So since 2020, Nick Saban had it kind of going down. And DeBoer is trying to get it to flatline and start going back up again.
Right.
Look, you don't want to admit to the truth. I mean, let's say it together, if you good men, you can't handle the truth, but that is the truth.
Yeah.
Look, the program was going down before Nick Saban retired.
Yeah.
Was it still an elite program? Yes. Was it winning at a high level? Yes. Is Bama a good program now? Yes. Is it winning at a high level? Yes. But Nick Saban wasn't winning national titles.
No.
And DeBoer's not either right now.
I mean, everybody goes through peaks and valleys, and Alabama's just right now going through those peaks and valleys.
Yeah, and the one thing that I want to point out, Stephen, just name me one business, name me one team, name me one anything that had a transition from a coach and didn't take a dip and get better or worse, whatever it might be. But no one changes the coach and it gets better immediately. It just doesn't happen that way. I mean, look at the great Dallas Cowboys of the 90s. That's considered the biggest dynasty ever as far as talent goes.
Yeah.
There was more talent on that team than probably any other football team ever assembled. And they made a change at coach. It took Barry Switzer a year. They were a game away from the Super Bowl. They won the NFC Championship with the 49ers. They knew they were going to win the Super Bowl. They lost that game. So be it. There you go. But it took Barry Switzer 2 years to figure it out. And he had the greatest talent ever on a football team. So there you go.
All right, Heath, before we wrap up, 2 things I want to talk about. Who do you feel like had the worst case of the Mondays?
I'm gonna have to put that to Shane Beamer in the Gamecocks, man.
Amen.
Amen. And I like Shane.
They absolutely dominated Texas A&M for 30 minutes of that football game, but college football is a 60-minute game. And after halftime, Mike Elko made all of the coaching adjustments, and Shane Beamer did nothing.
You know, Stephen, I want to get sidetracked for about 20 seconds, and then we'll get back into it. But talking about a game and playing the full game, I yet won another championship for my son, my second son. This was the first championship for my youngest son. Won multiples with my oldest son. But we had a game real quick and came out firing on all cylinders, was kicking their butts up and down the field. We extended our lead, blah, blah, blah. And then we got way deep in the field. We're about to put the game away. And I was like, hey, let's slow it down a little bit. That was the biggest mistake I made. We turned the ball over on 4 downs right there by the goal line. They get back into the game. And lo and behold, they take the lead. I had a 2-score lead. They take the lead with 9 seconds left. 9 seconds left in the game. And they take the lead from me. And I was like, I can't believe this. But I was actually kind of happy because I was like, I'd rather have the ball in my hands with the last chance. So called our play. We ran Tiger. That's our main play that we run. Student body right is basically what it is. And we ran it. We scored as time expires. We walk in the end zone. We win. And everybody's happy, blah, blah, blah. And there you go. You have to play the full game, just like you mentioned about Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
You have to play a full game. Stephen, I watched the first half of that game celebrating with my team at Blue Agave Restaurant, all of us having breakfast after our game. We're watching that game. I come home and I rewind it to the beginning of the second half. Right there before halftime, when Shane Beamer couldn't get the touchdown, I had to settle for the field goal. I said he just left the door open.
Yeah.
Knowing that he still had a chance to close, I was like, but if he scored a touchdown right there, I don't think A&M completes the comeback. And then they come back out second half, and he goes for it on fourth down and doesn't get it. And I was like, you just left the door open again. And there was a third thing that happened shortly after that, and I can't remember. And I meant to talk about all three things on the note, but I was like, you just had three chances. You had three chances to put this game away, and you didn't. You didn't do it. And I was like, it's like you left the door open three times. And I was like, you were playing not to lose rather than playing to win. You were playing not to lose, and you can't do that. And coaches at all levels do this, man. They do it in the NFL. They do it in all sports. I don't care if it's MLB, Major League Baseball, the NBA, mainly the NBA. But you can't play to not lose. You have to play to win the game.
Yeah.
And I made that mistake the other day. I was able to fortunately get out of it, and it wasn't because of me. Pierce, thank you, buddy, for running 75 yards as time expired with 4 seconds left on the clock and going 75 yards for us to win the championship. But, Stephen, you got to play to win the game.
Yeah.
That was a famous quote by a coach. We all know you play to win the game. But I don't understand. I don't understand some of the things that happened in that game. And I know they're kicking themselves, man. Shane Beamer's a good coach. He is a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
Look, no one wants to give him credit. Shane Beamer's the one that's taken down Dabo. He is the main person that took down the Dabo Sweeney, monster.
Yeah.
Dabo had everything going in his favor. It was Shane Beamer that took that thunder away from him. He was the first to do it, and he's taken the most thunder away from him. Shane Beamer's a good coach. I'm not saying he's better than Dabo, but he is an excellent coach. And, man, that's something that's hard to get over, and that's something hard to recover for the rest of the season, man. That's going to be hard for South Carolina.
I don't even think I want to talk about this, man, but I guess we have to. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah, you should go there. You absolutely should go there.
Mississippi State. What are you doing? My gosh, man.
You were texting me during this game. Your feelings are a whole lot stronger than mine on this. Look, I didn't think it was a good matchup opportunity for Mississippi State. I was like, all right, what does Mississippi State do really well? They run the ball. Well, they have that great defensive front, and they just come downhill at you, and you can't get that running game started. And they are excellent at sacking the quarterback.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is a bad matchup for Mississippi State because they like to run the ball, and then they kind of like to go deep. And to go deep, you need time. And the offensive line is banged up and beat up for Mississippi State. And even if it was completely healthy, you're probably not going to get that time because Missouri is that excellent with the edge rush. So I immediately thought that was bad. And then I was like, what does Mississippi State struggle with? Oh, the run game. They struggle of stopping the run at times.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. That Mississippi State defense last season was atrociously, horrendously bad. This year it's bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as last year. And State fans think, hey, our defense is good. No, it's not. It's not good.
Right. No.
It's just not as bad as last year.
Right.
Which tells me there is improvement going on in Starkville. There is. I mean, you can tell that offense has gotten better in Starkville this year. You can tell the defense has gotten better. They're heading in the right direction. But, man, Stephen, I thought it was a bad matchup. And I thought, man, if Missouri can get a 2-score lead, they'll blow them out.
Right.
Boy, did they. I mean, Stephen, it was – let's just call it what it is. That game was big kids beat up on little kids. And that's what it was. look, Missouri's banged up. They're on their third string quarterback. I thought Missouri was probably going to man, I don't know how you get that kid ready. That kid that played, he's a true freshman. Stephen, he missed his senior year of high school because he was injured.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a game since he was a junior in high school. Zollers, the quarterback from Missouri, true freshman. Tip of the hat to that kid. Great job. Because they worked with him and worked hard with him, and they came out and threw that ball the second possession. They came out and established the run, we're just going to run it down your throat. So Mississippi State stacks the run, and what does Missouri come out to do? Oh, no, we're going to pass it on you too. Mm-hmm. That kid looked excellent back there, especially as a true freshman who hasn't played a game in 2 years. So tip of the cap to Zollers, the true freshman quarterback at Missouri. But Missouri, man, I really feel for their fans, Stephen, because they had an excellent season going, and the injuries are coming in, and now the Drinkowitz rumors are picking up, and it's kind of crazy. Hey, before we get out of here, I have to mention this. Everyone's talking about the Kiffin to Florida rumors, and it's out of control and it's loud. And Florida has a very long reputation, a very long and distinguished reputation of letting word get out of who their next coach is going to be. They've never been able to keep a secret. They're that friend. We all have that friend or that family member who cannot keep a secret.
Right.
Florida's that for the SEC. They always let their coaching, they let their dirty laundry out. They let who they're going to hire next. It always gets out early. But no one's talking about what is happening up on the hill with the Razorbacks. Are you serious? Coach O, the man who struggles with the English language, it's the front runner right now of getting that Arkansas job.
Right.
Stephen, we love Coach O because, he's a character. He's a fun guy. He's a fiery guy.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid if people listen to this, I got a feeling 99% of you didn't have the athletic ability to play college sports, much less college football, and even if you did in the SEC. But, I think people really enjoy playing for Coach O.
Yeah.
Him being a head coach again, I don't know, man. It didn't work at Ole Miss. It didn't work at LSU. Yeah, he won that national title, but was that Coach O or was that his coordinators and just happen to have one of the best quarterbacks of all time in college football, a Heisman Trophy winner in Joe Burrow, and having 3 elite NFL receivers and 2 NFL running backs and an offensive line that all started playing on Sundays along with one of the greatest defenses by season's end that we've seen in a while. Everything kind of perfectly came together. All the stars aligned for Coach O to win that national title. And it really wasn't O's doing. He was just running the ship at the time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Arkansas, are we going there? Everyone makes fun of you for the John L. Smith hire. We make fun of you for the Sam Pittman hire. We make fun of you for the Chad Morris hire. We make fun of you for your football hires because you get it wrong almost every time. And you think that Coach O's the answer to get you back to consistent winning football? Yeah. He's never consistently won anywhere, ever. So, I don't know, man. That's me.
Heath, you talked about you feel sorry for the Missouri football fans.
Yeah.
What about your alma mater's fans? Come on, man. Lost to Florida. Lost to Texas at home. Blowing a 17-point lead. Losing at home in overtime to Tennessee when you had a guy wide open in the end zone. That is 3 potential wins you could have had right there, and you could already be bowl eligible if you just take one of those. But the majority of those were stupid coaching decisions by Jeff Lebby.
Yeah, I don't like hiring young coaches. That's a huge joke with my friends in my text group, the folks that I went to college with. Some agree with me. Most of my group do not. And that's okay. It's America. You have the right to be wrong. So I stole that from Steve Robertson. I love Steve. He says that on his podcast all the time. The Boneyard. Check it out if you don't listen to it. Great in-depth stuff. But I don't believe in hiring young coaches. I especially don't believe in hiring young coaches after you just fired one. And I definitely don't believe in hiring young coaches after you just fired one after the death of a legendary coach in Mike Leach.
Yeah.
You needed someone who has done it before, who has seen a lot before. You needed a veteran. Even if you had to dust somebody off that's been doing it for a while, that's been sitting on the sideline for a year or two or three, you needed to bring in a veteran who had done it, seen it, and and had it all happen. And Mississippi State's like, hey, let's go after another young coach. Look, Jeff Lebby's doing some good things. He is. I said at the beginning of the season, and I was in wishful thinking mode, I said, I think this team will win 5 games. In my heart, I thought they were going to win 4. And then they win the first 4 of the season, and we're all like, oh, my gosh, here we go.
Right.
And so, they get that 5th victory, and I'm thinking, man, they're 1 game away. They're going to do this. Now I'm like, yep, they're not going to do this.
No.
It's like, but it makes you look good because you predicted it. 5 wins on the season. And the reason I picked that, Stephen, I was like, Mississippi State had its heart ripped out. They had their heart ripped out when they lost Coach Leach. They had their heart ripped out when that team just fell apart so quick after Leach left. And then, and then going into last season, it was just a skull-dragging defeat and humiliating of seeing what State was doing. And then this year I was like, you know what? I guarantee you they're going to show promise and they're going to come up just short and they're going to miss, a bowl game by 1.
Right.
And it's just going to hurt even more. Although there's going to be improvement, it's still going to hurt. And I don't want to be right, but it's looking like I'm right. And yeah, I saw you bring up John. I didn't see it at the bottom. What is John saying? Yeah, that Arkansas game. Oh, I got to say this about Arkansas. Look.
And then this too.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you. Logical minds think logically. Thank you, John. And you're right. You need to hire a veteran coach, especially when you're in that situation.
Yeah.
But I'm going to jump off State for a quick second. Look, I don't have any beef with Bobby Petrino. I don't care a thing about Bobby Petrino, but I rode him hard and made fun of him after he lost the State because he's a hothead and he's an idiot. He is a complete buffoon idiot. And what does he do the other day before halftime? He's crying about the officials. Both freaking who? Bobby Petrino, look, man, you are a talented coach and you're a great play caller. You are not a leader. No. And it obviously shows you are not a leader. And you've always struggled with leadership. And that's why you're not going to become the Arkansas head coach. That's why you'll have to go back to a place like Missouri State if you ever want to become a head coach again. Look, you are not a leader. And you remember when LSU, Les Miles, I remember this game. It was on Black Friday years ago. LSU's just sticking it to Arkansas, just sticking it to them. And Bobby Petrino's over there pointing at Les Miles. It's your job to keep the other team out of the end zone. Yeah. It's not Les Miles' job to keep his own team out of the end zone. That's your job, Bobby P. He has no emotional stability.
No.
He gets so mad so quick. Guess what? You can control that, and you can control your team a little bit better. You would win more.
Yeah.
Look, Arkansas, I don't even know why you brought him back in. I don't even know why you brought him in as an interim. But I know some of the fans really want to see him back, and I'm glad you had this moment because he's still losing. You know why? Because as an emotional leader and an emotional intelligence, he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. I'm sorry. He's a great play caller. He has a great offensive mind.
Right.
But as far as a leader, I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
All right. Heath, before we wrap up and get to the post-show thing, I do want to mention that this weekend is going to be known as Cupcake Weekend because Alabama plays Eastern Illinois. Auburn plays Mercer. South Carolina plays Coastal Carolina. Georgia plays Charlotte. However, we do have some decent games on the schedule, including Oklahoma and Missouri, Arkansas versus Texas, Tennessee versus Florida, and Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. This week, we are going to be focusing on those games to preview them for you guys. So tomorrow when we return, we will be talking about Tennessee and Florida. So, Heath, that is going to wrap up this edition of the Stingray Show. After this commercial, Heath and I are going to finish it up with the post show right here on social media.
Hey, Steven, what are we talking about in the post show today?
Which team has done the most since joining the SEC?
Ooh, hey, chime in. Feel free to say whatever you want to say about whatever SEC team you think's done the most since joining the SEC.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do your brisket blend. We'll do your chuck blend. We'll do your sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. It's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, ma'am, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show. All right, so welcome in to the post show. And Heath, in July of 24, we had Oklahoma and we had Texas officially join the SEC, and we had last year Texas 2 times last year faced Georgia, and they faced them again this year, this past Saturday. In your opinion, who do you feel like has done more since they've joined the SEC, the Boomer Sooners or the Texas Longhorns?
Are we just going football or are we going all sports?
Football. And by the way, there's a lot of feedback on your end. Switch over to your mic.
I think I'll make this on. Oh. There we go. Better?
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. Was it like that all show?
It was like that all show. Sorry.
That's odd. Sorry about that. Anyway, I don't know, Steven. That's a tough question. Texas has gotten more hype, but Texas always hypes everything. I don't care if it's, a new miniseries or some reality show. If it happens in Texas, they overhype it. I mean, There's a reason why they talk about the Cowboys all the time. I mean, everything in Texas is overhyped. And rightfully so. It should be. Looking at it, Stephen, just on the surface, I'm going to lean Texas has done a tad bit more football-wise, just a tad bit more, because Oklahoma last year, that was kind of an embarrassment, and they really didn't do anything until they beat Alabama. Right. And wasn't it Jackson Arnold being quarterback? Wasn't he quarterback of that game last year when they beat Alabama? I believe he was. And now he's at Auburn, and now he can't even get on the field. Jackson Arnold, man, the kid's got so much talent and just can't figure it out and can't put it all together just yet. But that's another story. Oklahoma's done some things, man. They have done some things, but even in the transfer portal, I have to give the nod to Texas. I mean, you get guys like Jade Knott that have come in from Cal to Oklahoma. But, look at all these wide receivers from all over the SEC that have come into Texas. You can talk about John Mateer transferring from Washington State and coming with his coordinator to Oklahoma, but I don't know. Of course, you get all the Arch Manning hype and all that. So I'm just going to go with Texas. Your thoughts?
Well, for me, it comes down to this. Texas 0-3 against Georgia. Who has dominated the SEC over the past 4 seasons? Georgia. All right? You have not been able to beat them. And in 2 of those matchups, you were absolutely wiped off the field by Georgia. All right? Let's go to Oklahoma. Who has dominated this conference for the past decade plus? Alabama. Oklahoma has had 2 shots against the Crimson Tide, and Oklahoma knocked them off both times and made Alabama look mediocre both times. That's the reason I'm siding with Oklahoma, because they've had opportunities to knock off the top dogs of the SEC. Oklahoma has done it, Texas has not.
I saw a picture and took a screenshot of it, Stephen, and it kind of goes with what you're talking about. Texas cannot beat Georgia.
No,
All right. Georgia can't beat Alabama.
no,
Alabama can't beat Oklahoma,
no.
but Oklahoma can't beat Texas.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
it's a circle. So, but Texas can't beat Georgia. Georgia can't beat Bama. Bama can't beat Oklahoma, but Oklahoma can't beat Texas. And it just
Yeah.
keeps going.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But this is why we love the SEC.
Yes.
Someone's going to figure it out. They're going to break that streak. And, even back in the Philip Fulmer, Steve Spurrier days, I mean, Spurrier just humiliated Fulmer. And once every blue moon, Fulmer would get the win. And they would celebrate that hard and heavy, and they should. They
Yeah.
should. Was Phil Fulmer a really good coach? Yeah, he was. Was Steve Spurrier? Absolutely, he was. No one wore a sun visor until Steve Spurrier, and now every coach wears a sun visor. That's how
Yeah.
Steve Spurrier changed the game. They all want to be Steve Spurrier,
Right.
and yet none of them have his punchlines and swag like he did. But it's fun to see
Yes.
all of this, man. It really is. But Stephen, just look at some of the coaches in the SEC. Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze. Look at everyone that wears Eli Drinkowitz. They all wear visors, and it's all because of Spurrier.
Yeah.
I mean, they all do it. So it makes me laugh and smile. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on your thinking there with Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you
And
can
yeah,
make an
Texas,
argument for both.
and Texas did make the SEC championship game last year.
They did.
But come on, man. They lost to a backup quarterback. How humiliating is that?
I don't know. The backup quarterback's doing pretty good this year, though. So
I'm just saying, though, that was his first action. I mean, come on, man.
yeah. I don't know, man.
Texas is
Stephen,
Texas.
we get to talk about this all summer. Well, I don't know, the SEC championship game and the playoff. I haven't even looked. I'm gonna do that real quick. Who is the favorite right now for the SEC championship game?
It's still Alabama, and it's still A&M.
That's right.
Alabama and A&M.
Because they're both still.
And I love that matchup because I don't.
Oh no,
want to see
it's A&M and Georgia now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Alabama knocked off Georgia. Remember?
Yeah, I was just going by. I just
off
looked at these
Georgia.
ratings. I don't know if you can see that.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, you're right. You're right. Bama did beat Georgia.
So they would get the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So-
here's something fun to think about, Stephen. I mean, Ole Miss has never made. They never won the West. They never won. They claim they won the West, but they lost to LSU that year, and they didn't get to go to the Georgia
Right.
Dome and play in the SEC championship game. And now the Georgia Dome doesn't even exist anymore.
They're going to have Texas beat A&M. They're going to have Auburn win. And I think I don't know because they don't have the head-to-head over Georgia.
That's true. Yeah, so I bet Georgia's pretty much man, we just have to figure that out.
Yes.
There'll be somebody to do a fun video about tiebreakers this week and what all will be playing out the last 2 weeks. But yeah. Hey, did you see this, Stephen? I know this is the post show, and I'm dragging this out like it's the regular show. Have you seen? Someone posted it, and I'll see if I can't find that picture. So I think someone might have sent it to me. I'll go back and look at my old. I mean, I got so many texts this week. When I say I got like between 250 and like 350 texts this weekend, like I'm either plus or minus 300. Like I'm close to that. It's been insane. But if you look at A&M and their SEC opponents, they have faced everybody at the bottom. Like there's no skip anywhere. The bottom half of the how many SEC wins do they got right now? 7. They have played the last 7 place teams in the SEC, the bottom 7 teams in the SEC. And it will change when they play Texas, but that will be the only team that's ranked in the top half. They have played everybody. And I was like, well, I'm sure they would have given that schedule to Alabama or Georgia if they meant to do that on purpose. But, A&M talked for years and years. Kevin Sumlin cried about it, and I agreed with him. He had the right to cry. That he's just like, I'm tired of being the new kid in the SEC, and y'all keep picking on us. You keep giving us this bad schedule. You keep doing this to us. You keep doing that to us. Blah blah blah. And lo and behold, here's A&M on this one season where they're undefeated. They're making it happen.
So Heath, that is going to wrap up this edition of the Stingray Show. We just went over 1 hour. I think that is a good stopping point. Yep, that is a good stopping point. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about a rivalry that used to happen over in the East Division of the Steve Spurrier versus Philip Fulmer back in the day of Tennessee and Florida. How is that matchup going to look this weekend? We will be joined by beat writers from both schools. That is on the Tuesday edition of the Stingray Show, when we will be previewing good old Rocky Top versus Go Gators.
Stephen, this used to be the most exciting game in the SEC, and we used to have it to start football season. I always liked this game, but I'm not going to lie. I don't like it a week before Thanksgiving. I want this game at the beginning of the year, the second or third weekend. I think this should be one of the first SEC games of the year every year. I think that's its rightful spot, and I just hate it. I hate it. And these guys, it's usually back in the day, they used to play it in the rain because some kind of hurricane was going on. Hey, thank you, John.
Thank you, man. All right. And John and everybody else, we will see y'all tomorrow right back here at 8:15 Central in the morning with a preview of good old Rocky Top versus Go Gators.
Steven, you leaning one way on that game?
I haven't decided yet. But it's a rivalry game. A rivalry game, dude. Throw out everything that you know.
Mm-hmm.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Moundville has been a name clients can trust. The Bank of Moundville is more than just a bank. They're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Their unique approach to financial education has always centered around families. They believe that financially strong homes today lay the foundation for a brighter futures for tomorrow's generation. You can call them today at 205-371-2227. Once again, that is 371-2227 to schedule an appointment to build your financial security. The Bank of Moundville is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. The Thanksgiving holiday is fastly approaching, and if you have a large family coming to your house, let the Coker Market take the hassle out of the Thanksgiving dinner for you. You can order from the Coker Market smoked turkey breast, smoked half a ham, a Boston butt, wings by the dozen, tenders by the dozen, or sausage balls. Now with casseroles, which you just take and bake, sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, and green bean casserole. They also offer baked beans, potato salad, and yeast rolls. You can find them at County Road 140 in Coker, Alabama at the intersection of Romulus Road at the four-way intersection, or you can call to get your order done at 205-331-5066. Once again, that is 331-5066. Let the Coker Market take the hassle out of the Thanksgiving dinner for you this holiday season. I am representing a clothing company right here in Tuscaloosa that is called J&J Apparel. If you like the Mississippi State shirt that I have on, you can find all of their Mississippi State apparel as well as Auburn, Alabama, and Ole Miss at jnjapparel.com. They are located right here in Tuscaloosa, but they also have other merchandise for other SEC schools as well. So once again, if you do like this polo that I've got on and the Walking Bulldog, go to jnjapparel.com and get all of your SEC merch right there for Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, and Mississippi State with J&J Apparel. We all enjoy the changing of the seasons. Fall is a special time to be thankful for our families and many blessings. It is also a great time, though, to review your insurance coverages. Alpha Insurance and hometown agent Jeff Nee can help you personalize your insurance needs. The more you protect, the more you save. With helpful customer service teams right here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi, you can count on Alpha to provide the insurance plan that provides the protection that you need. For all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call Alpha agent Jeff Nee or drop by his office at 202 McFarland Boulevard East, Suite 101 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And remember, with Jeff Nee, the more you protect, the more you save. And finally, I want to mention this evening, which is Monday Night Football, we have the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Dallas Cowboys at 7:15 on both ESPN and on ABC, and Dallas is currently a 3.5-point favorite. We will see you tomorrow on the Stingray Show.